What's up, everybody? It's TZ here, and I'm coming to you with a word, all right? The title of this video is going to be The Ends Justify the Means. And this saying is powerful. It's so powerful because if you digest it and begin to think about the things that are most important to you in your life, then the means that which you take to achieve the most important things that you set out for in your life, that becomes a lot easier for you to do. Or maybe not even easier, it just becomes something that you feel like you must do, so therefore it gets done. The ends justify the means. It has many different phrases that means the same thing. But one of my coworkers, my dude Steve at work, he says this all the time. And every time he says this, it makes me think about some of the things that are most important to me in my life. And it makes me think about what I have to do to uphold those important things for my life. Or if it's things that I have not yet attained, if it's like a goal, or if it's a vision that I have for my life, then it makes me think about what I have to do in order to acquire that end result. And I'm kind of, it's very prevalent in my life right now because I'm doing a lot of different things because I have a vision of what I want my life to look like. The things that I'm doing are difficult. Some of the things that I'm doing are stretching me. It's outside of my personality, okay? But in order to get to this end result that I'm believing for, in order to get to this end result, then I'll have to, the means that I have to take in order to get there, I'm gonna have to bypass the fact that some of it is uncomfortable. I'm gonna have to bypass the fact that maybe I don't feel like doing some of it, right? I got a great example. So my wife and I, we have two children. One is almost 3, so 2 years old still. The other one is under 1, 10 months. And my wife is now like 2 or 3 months pregnant. Okay? So we got a lot going on. She is a stay-at-home mom. So she is with these kids all day. And for her purpose is to raise these children, to love these children, to guide these children, right? And she would want nothing else but to be a stay-at-home mom, okay? And I'm blessed to be able to provide that for her. But although her end goal is to be a stay-at-home mom, homeschool these kids, be the best mom she could be, teach them great valuable lessons, show them what a woman of Christ look like in an everyday fashion, right? That's the end goal, right? The means by which she takes to get there is dealing with toddlers and infants, okay? Which, if anybody's ever had kids, you know it could be very aggravating sometimes. It could be very irritating sometimes because they don't always listen. They don't always make sense like we think in an adult mind. You know what I mean? Like kids test you sometimes. Kids need constant 24/7 attention. They need constant stimulation and interaction. So what that does to a stay-at-home mom is it burns her out. So she has the end goal. She has the woman in her mind of who she wants to be. She has the things that she wants to do in her mind. But the means that it takes her to achieve this vision of herself, sometimes it wears her out. But you know why she wake up every day and continue to to reach for that ideal of the type of woman that she wants to be, is because it's worth it to her. The end goal of raising homeschooled kids that you were 100% involved in their life, to her is worth being irritated. To her uh, is worth having to interact and just have your energy drained by these children all the time. Now, children come with 1,000 more blessings and 1,000 more positive things than they do negative things, in my opinion and from my experience. But we also cannot ignore some of the things that sometimes we wish we could have a break from. And for me, I'll give you another example. Today, I was working outside all day. It's 2 degrees out here where I'm at, and it's negative 15 degrees. I have a construction type of job, and we had a water main break today. So the water pipes that distribute the water throughout the city that I'm in, okay? When it gets so cold up here, the ground shifts and it causes these water pipes to break. And so now you got water surfacing on the road, and it's creating ice, and it's just a hazard. It's an emergency, right? So what me and my coworkers have to do is we have to go out there in these terrible conditions and fix this. It was 2 degrees with the wind chill, negative 15 degrees out there. I'm out there from like 8 o'clock to 2:30, okay? Freezing my behind off. We finally get done, clock out of work at 2:30. I get home, begin to work on my business, right? Make some calls, do some things for my business. Got uncomfortable doing some cold calling, right? Heard a lot of no's, got met with a lot of not so much acceptance. It is what it is. That's a part of the game. But yeah, I made a point to do that. And guess what I come home to? A burnt out wife who been dealing with toddlers and infants all day, right? So she went out. I said, Sarah, go out, hang out with the kids. Hang out with your sister, okay? Go shopping, go ease your mind, have some one-on-one time. You with these kids 24/7, go take an hour by yourself. So daddy been to work all day, got up at 5:45, worked all day in the freezing cold, came home, did a couple things for my business, then it's daddy duty time. So after I did the stuff for my business, I had the kids, gave both of the kids a bath, fed them some dinner, hung out with them, right? So why, TZ, you may be thinking, why don't you just quit your job and live off government assistance, unemployment, and be a bum? Not that everybody that's on unemployment and government assistance is a bum. Some people really need assistance. But why don't you just mooch off the system is a great question, right? Well, because the end goal of the man I want to be, that's not the means that I have to take in order to be the man that I want to be. That's why I won't do that, right? Or why did you sign up? Tell your wife to go leave and get a breather and go clear her mind and just be by herself for at least 1 hour in the day. And why did you come home after that long day at work and take these kids who are so needy and who are at a very vulnerable spot in their development, right? They need attention. Well, because I want to have a nice, successful marriage of servitude. My wife does a phenomenal job of serving me. So if I could find ways to serve her as well, then my end goal, right, of having a wonderful marriage that God is pleased with, right? These are the means that I must take in order to achieve that ideal that I have in my mind for my marriage. So TZ, what's the point of this video? The point of this video is to remind y'all that whenever you have an idea, okay, that is good, that's pleasing to you, that's pleasing to the Lord, right? Whenever you have an end goal in mind, it does not matter the means that it takes to get there, okay? Usually anything worth doing is going to require a lot out of you. It's going to require energy out of you. It's going to require you to be uncomfortable. It's going to require you to stretch beyond the limits of what you may feel like doing in that current moment, okay? But it's all worth it because of the end goal. So really the ends justify the means is a pseudonym for delayed gratification. Okay? You got an end goal on this side right here, and then you may bypass instant gratification, okay, in order to put your head down, do the work that needs to be done, whether it's hard, whether it's easy, whether it's uncomfortable, whether you feel like doing it or not, and then you eventually get gratified, okay? You eventually get gratified by accomplishing your ideal that you set out for, okay? Delayed gratification. Doing what needs to be done, okay, when it needs to be done, so that the future you can have a better experience because you were disciplined in the beginning. It's the same thing as the ends justify the means in my mind, okay? Why do people get up and go to work? Because they need health insurance for their family, maybe, okay? So maybe a father goes to a job for his family that maybe he don't particularly like. Maybe he's burnt out, okay? But he keeps getting up and he keeps going because the goal of having health insurance to his family, for his family, is more important than him not wanting to be at that workplace, okay? Just like me. Yes, I was tired. I would have loved some alone time and some silence and some solitude, but giving my wife a breather, okay, and engaging with my young, impressionable children who need their father was more important to me than chilling, okay? Working on my business, working on my future plans, okay? Working on the seeds that the Lord put in my heart was more important to me than sitting down, busting open a bag of potato chips and chilling, okay? So y'all keep this on the forefront of your mind. When you goal setting, okay? When you goal setting and you looking at your life and you trying to figure, man, who is the woman that I want to be? Who is the man that I want to be? What do I want to do? Okay? Where do I want to be? Okay? When you start thinking about those things, you have to think about how to get there. Okay? And equalize that gap from where you are to where you want to be. And that gap or that bridge is called the means that it takes to get there. So I want to encourage y'all. If your means to get there are hard, if your means to get there require you to lose a little sleep, if your means to get there requires you to be uncomfortable and requires you to learn new things and requires you to develop yourself as a person, I implore you and I encourage you to do it, okay? I appreciate y'all listening to me. I appreciate your time. I thank y'all. I love y'all. God bless you.